Hi, everybody.
Hey everyone,
Welcome to TFT Tarot for today.
Divine Dabblings with,
Oberon.
and me, Banshee.
And today we have a special feature, a new monthly feature.
Brand new. We're so excited, as you can see.
Go
It
ahead.
is our monthly modality messages for all of the modalities of the Zodiac. Everybody knows that you're either a cardinal, a fixed, or a mutable sign. And so we are going to focus on those. We're going to do readings for cardinal signs, fixed signs, and then mutable signs for the month ahead. And what that's going to entail is that there's going to be a focus card for each, similar to what Oberon and I'm going to be doing for my Material Matters piece. So there's going to be a focus card for each, and then each modality will have a special reading that will focus around that, that card. So basically, and the way my crazy mind worked when I was devising this whole thing, and it was, first off, Mr. O's idea to come up with a reading for the modalities, correct, Mr. O?
That's right.
This is your fault?
That's one way of putting it.
Because then he turned to me and said, well, what do you think we should do? And so I came up with this method where I created readings based on each of the modalities, cardinal, fixed, and mutable. And within each reading, every sign in that modality contributes some of their energy to the positions in the spread, if that makes sense to you, which I hope it does. So basically in the cardinal signs, the first card is kind of the energy of what an Aries might provide to the reading. So it's about maybe things that you're going to initiate, for example. So that's how it's designed, and we're just going to go forward and see how it goes. We welcome your comments and suggestions regarding this, as this is a big experiment for us. And also there is another way we could approach doing these readings that we might experiment with next time.
All right.
Based on feedback. So here we go. And so we're going to start with the cardinal signs of the Zodiac, and that is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So you are up, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, cardinal signs. We're going to shuffle, we're going to pick your focus card, and then move through the reading. And I suppose at some point we should time out the segments and let you know when each of them are, up in the reading, maybe in the comments section. So we will work on all of this and try to get you at least close to the time that, the cardinal, fixed, or mutable signs will be. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. This is the month ahead for you. And your focus this month, is the Three of Wands reversed.
So we'll leave that one right down there.
And so what would you say about that, Mr. O? I think it really has to do with everybody kind of thinking about how to pick up the pieces, maybe, or whether to move on from something that may have gone south.
Well, it may be moving on, in my opinion, more like maybe just concluding that the project or the enterprise is not going to work out, and that it's time to pretty much call it a day.
So where do we go from here?
It's your first card, right? So we'll put this one down here, I think. We'll move that down there a little bit. Okay.
So what changes will you initiate in the month ahead? What's going to transpire here, as far as where you go from here. This is like the influence of Aries in this reading. And basically for all of you, I think that for all you cardinal signs, I think that, you're going to have to emotionally pull yourself together. I think this is a time for that.
Okay. You're reading what this card means for that position. Interesting.
So I think you're going to be working on yourself.
Well, this does indicate that. This does also say to me that there's a recognition, maybe, that you have some emotional situations you're going to be trying to conquer or deal with.
Right. And we're going to do this way.
Okay.
Sorry. And number 2, and also it was reversed, right? So we're getting...
Well, it should be reversed to the camera, though. Right?
Oh,
Remember?
that's right. Okay. I'm sorry.
We're
I am
new.
going to have a
We're
perceptual
new here.
problem with that.
So you put it up this way?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So basically, the Cancerian influence for this reading is, what changes will you initiate this? What changes will you... No, I'm sorry. How will you nurture and cultivate your goals, desires, or relationships this month? Well, you're just going to go all out for everything that you desire. As far as your relationships go, if you want it, you're going to put your heart into it.
Yes,
And make
this
it
is
happen.
nearly a perfect card for a Cancerian because it's a high water
Indeed.
card. Emphasis is what it looks like to me. It's Andromeda, the 9 of Cups in this deck. And that to me tells me that we really are going towards full body contact, if you want to use that as a metaphor of some sort. So that's upright, so that's
Yep.
going to go there. Okay, right?
So, yes, and Libra, the influence of Libra, card 3, is how can you gain cooperation or support from others? And this is the way I pulled it. Oh, wow. Well, I think you can seek advice or wisdom from others this month that you can count on. It's absolutely going to benefit you in some way as you're moving forward through the month, is gaining some advice or wisdom from someone.
It's the Hermit, and it's upright. And it seems to me that basically what I'm feeling here is that having a simpatico kind of relationship where you are able to share your insights and wisdom with others, and others will wish to share theirs with yours. And so you're going to be trying to cultivate that kind of cooperation.
What he said.
Thank
I
you.
think that's perfect, actually, and I couldn't agree more. I think that there's going to be a symbiotic thing going on where give and take and exchange of information with others is going to be very beneficial to you cardinal signs this month.
Very nice.
And then finally, for the Capricornian influence, how can your talents and resources best be put to use? Because Capricorns are very interested in that, but this can benefit all the cardinal signs, and it's the star. How can you put your talents and resources best to use? Well, to achieve stardom in a way, to really, keep striving for something higher. That's what I would say. That's how you can best put your talents and resources to use.
You're striving for higher, but you're also being inspirational. You're inspiring others too. And once again, it's maybe part of the mutual relationship because we've moved into Aquarius. So the emphasis anyway is sort of about friendships,
Yes.
organizations, fraternal things. So this is a good way for you cardinal signs to look at the month ahead.
Yeah. So that's what we have for the cardinal signs for this month, and I hope you get something out of this. Again, that was for Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And now we're going to move on to the fixed signs, and we are entering a fixed sign right now of Aquarius.
That is correct, yes.
So the fixed signs, we're going to call this spread how you maintain balance and stability this month. But we'll see. We want to see what comes up. What is your focus, fixed signs? And the fixed signs are Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus.
And so generally, just as a reminder, a fixed sign sort of means that their overall emphasis in terms of their energies are sort of like keeping things static in a way.
Right, keeping the
nurturing it and
status
keeping
quo.
it static.
Yep. So I'm hoping you can see how my spreads have been influenced by the cardinal fixed and mutable qualities, but also the astrological signs within each of those. That was kind of my goal, is to kind of try to blend all of these energies together.
I say we go with that as being our
Focus?
focus card.
Okay, it fell out.
It fell out. It's the Seven of Cups. It's upright. And it is a card that to me expresses a lot of ideas about imagination, idealism, about really unbridled. What am I looking for in a word? I don't know. It sounds Aquarian in a way, though,
It
doesn't
does.
it? Yeah.
You want it all, but can you have it all? It's a lot of stuff, and you're just dreaming up big dreams and goals and aspirations for yourself this
So
month.
try to remember, you have to stay a little grounded too.
Now, this reading is going to be straight across because they are all about kind of maintaining stability. Well, I even designed these spreads like with cardinal signs, they're kind of always moving somewhere and hopefully moving on up. So I made that kind of a ladder shape or a step shape. This one is keeping things in balance and harmony, the fixed signs.
You know, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship.
And the mutable signs are kind of up and down because they're mutable.
Already, I have cut the deck.
All right, so for Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus, this is your month ahead till the next change of the zodiac sign. All right.
So, what are the qualities you need to display in order to make a positive impression on others?
Well,
That's the way you pulled it up?
yes.
So, it's temperance reversed.
Well, I think that the qualities you want to display are what those are not. So basically it's saying, are you ready to bring out your best qualities at this time, I think. And in order to achieve, your goals, you're going to have to work on balance and harmony in your life. So I am thinking that, you're going to have to work on maintaining some emotional stability in particular. Those are the qualities that you need to work on and display an emotional balance to people in this month ahead to make a positive impression.
Yeah, it does seem like it's sort of like the inverse lesson or message that's being given. Mm-hmm. But the thing is you do need to make a break with immoderate attitudes and really apply more reasonable balance, to situations. And so that's where your focus should be, what qualities you need to nurture and show.
And really, we shouldn't have to tell fixed signs this because, you should know that, people don't want to see extremes. They want to see kind of an even keel.
Alrighty, card 2.
Card 2.
What can we share with others or allow others to share with us? And we have the reversed Tower. Well, that's always fun. The reversed Tower, most of us tend to think it's a little bit better when it's reversed. It's somewhat better.
Well, I'd be careful with this one because the Tower reversed is kind of like repeating. Actually, it's not repeating cycles. So what you can share with others, now that I think about it, what you can share with others is how you overcame, your traumas and your difficulties, your trials and tribulations in the past, how you did not repeat those cycles over and over, what helped you move on. And you could ask others to share that with you. Maybe those messages are something that you yourself needs to hear right now.
Well, and it is kind of scorpionic because with the Tower reversed, the idea really is about understanding what lessons you should have learned because maybe you didn't really learn them well enough, and so that also sort of provides that point of doing it again until you learn it. And so maybe your ideas here are that you hopefully will have something to share with others that will make them not go through those same things.
Well, and thanks for jogging my flagging brain, Mr. O, because I forgot to mention here, of course, the first card, the one that was what are the qualities you need to display was a Leo influence card, because Leos are all about self-expression and how they look and appearances, and so I think that they want to shine, and so I think that's the influence that was behind this card. And with this card, as you said, there's a scorpionic influence here. So in other words, Scorpios, they like to gossip, they like to get the dirt, they like to dig underneath the surface. So, and sometimes they like to keep secrets. So that's why this question applies from the Scorpio perspective to you fixed signs this month.
Good point for you to make as well. I think that's very true.
So
one thing with working with the modalities has kind of shown me a little bit, at least, that there's a little bit of every sign in all of us. And so it's good for us to work with this too, because it actually cross-strengthens some of our understanding about astrology.
Yep. And so now the Aquarian influence in this reading is, what role will my connections or the connections I make with friends, family, and associates play in this cycle? And
it's the Queen of Swords reversed.
Well, it seems like there's going to be some struggles to, maintain civility, I think. So be careful of that. So it seems like you're going to have to work on, some diplomacy and maybe some give and take here.
You may find yourself in some situations where basically there will be conversation that involves revealing, parts of yourself you're not always as comfortable with, not really having a fixed opinion. Aquarius is sort of, the anomaly for fixed signs in a way, because in a way Aquarians don't like to necessarily be tied. They like to be more flexible, but you are a fixed sign. So the thing is that what I'm seeing with this reverse Queen of Swords is someone may try to call you fixed signs on the carpet a little bit about political differences or social concern differences or global differences. And so you may have to say what you really believe, and then therefore others will know clearly where you stand. And so that
could have positive or negative benefits for you.
Right, that will affect, new people you may be meeting in this cycle.
And, a very Taurian question to end your reading with is, how will you be able to achieve a balance between work and pleasure in the month ahead? Yikes! Epically.
Judgment. Upright.
Well, you have to think about and weigh carefully, your priorities here and what's important. Sometimes pleasure and enjoyment can be just as important as your work. So I think you have to, really, really think on this and make sure that, because you had temperance here reversed, and you have to make sure that temperance, that you balance things. You balance things so you're emotionally stable.
I hate to call out my dark twin.
Uh-oh.
But as a Scorpio, I am aware that Taurians, have a little bit of that whole dichotomy about, as you say, work and pleasure. And I think that this card is telling me that maybe for some of my fellow fixed signs, so I'm including the rest of you guys in this too, that the whole idea here may relate to the fact that we may make some bad judgments, and we may find out that, sometimes we really do have to focus more on one of those aspects,
right?
Work over pleasure. We are over the holidays after all, so that's another point to make. Alrighty, so that's how we...
And that's what we have for you guys. I think that, this is a month of ups and downs for you, especially in your relations with others. So be a little bit on your guard and work towards those dreams and goals. So, hey.
So let's wrap this up then with our mutable signs.
The mutable signs are next and last but not least. And the mutable signs are Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo. You guys are up. And I call this the shifting perspective spread. And why? Because you guys kind of go this way and that way. You're mutable, you're flexible, you're
in a lot of cosmologies, we see the whole idea about how we move forward through time and we repeat to some degree a wheel of the year or a cycle of the year. But there's also that spiraling effect, so that no cycle around is ever completely the same, and that there are always some little twists or turns or fixes that we have to go through. And so that each time we approach the season of a fixed sign or a mutable sign, there may be different things that we are meant to undergo. How did that sound for obtusely cosmic?
I'm not going to say you lost me.
Oh, I bet I might
I
have.
actually was hearing the cats meowing at each other in the background
Yes,
there.
we know why. Are you going to cut them?
Uh,
I forgot to. So go ahead and cut them and I'll put them back this time.
so, if I failed to mention it, we are using the Celestial Tarot today and may continue using this for the spread. It's from something like 2004. It's a U.S. Games deck by Kay Stevenson and Brian Clark.
It seems to mention a lot of the astrological references that we'll be pointing out from time to time, if not often. And our focus card for the month?
Yeah, the focus card for the mutables. Looks like you're moving.
The Eight of Cups. And this is really cool for a mutable kind of sign because it does indicate a change, and maybe a big change. A change, from 180-degree perspectives.
Yes, it sounds like, moving away from something or just a change of perspective for sure.
Change
We
of
talk
values,
about
change of
shifting perspectives.
perspective.
Yeah. And it seems like you're moving from a place of dissatisfaction, seeking something better. So let's see what the first card up is for you. Well, I'm going to put them all out, actually. Let me do that. Okay, so basically, the first card is the Princess of Pentacles upright, and that's basically Sagittarian influence. How will I need to shift my perspective during this cycle? Well, Sagittarians always thinking and philosophizing.
Well, yes, and this is a card of that kind of person, too, in natural ways. So I think very naturally, this really says, keep doing that. This is a card of the kind of person that is not only just persnickety, but there's a word I'm looking for. They remain really focused on the goal. They're persevering. That's the word. And so this is a good word for this time, is that they won't really do that as much as one might think maybe, or they will shift into that if they're not quite there. But I think it's a natural for a Sagittarian type of personality.
So for all of you mutable signs, keep learning, growing, and adapting, because you as you learn and assimilate, bring those messages in and continue to adapt and grow. So card number 2 is the Piscean influence in the reading. How are others' emotions affecting me? And well, I think actually something good is probably going to happen.
It's probably a lot of happiness right now.
And maybe from family connections or, your family or your close relationships. It seems like there's a lot of joy and happiness for you in this period ahead till the next turn of the zodiac.
This cycle will also include the more or less cultural celebration of Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And so a lot of people during this time period, they think about affectionate things that they can be with friends or more. So we'll see that. Maybe people will introduce somebody to somebody else through your family, is a feeling I'm getting. So those of you who might be looking for a date, maybe somebody you know in your family or your connection will introduce you to that. And I think that in general, because you display that idea about good family feeling with people, people will feel comfortable around you and will resonate towards you in this next month, in general.
So card 3 is what do we need to know or find out to better position ourselves for success in the month ahead. And so for the Sagittarians, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgos, this Gemini influenced card is
The Princess of Wands.
well, you're probably needing to find out something about a project or something you've been trying to grow, something that you've been trying to produce, maybe a creative project or something work related. It seems like that's what you need to know to better position yourself for success this month.
For those who might be employed or thinking about some sort of change in their career or within their company, I'm also thinking too that this maybe is indicating that there is a shift in a cultural attitude about that work that's going to happen, like a company's culture or corporate culture, because I sort of feel that the Princess of Wands in general talks about diplomacy and tact, and so it just may mean something as simple as learning that everybody in a new division you want to work in, usually likes people to wear a certain set of colors and not multicolors or something stupid like that. You never know, but I'm sort of picking up these weird little ideas here.
The final card is the Virgo influence for the mutables. What kind of adjustments will you need to make this month in order to be more effective and achieve success? So looking for efficiency and effectiveness. That's a Virgo trait.
And we got the Seven of Wands reversed.
Oh my. Okay. So basically it means to, if you really want to be more efficient and effective, you have to keep at it. You can't give up. You have to keep at it.
Yeah, watch out for defeatism mostly. I think that this card talks about that kind of attitude. Adjust for that. Adjust for the fact that sometimes you may have to work with a minority position you have that maybe you're the only one in your work situation that wants to do something a certain way because you feel right about that, but somebody else doesn't. You may have to defend that, but you may also have to just deal with that at the end of the day.
Indeed. And so that's what we see for the final set, the mutable signs. Now, and that again is Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgos. So I know this may seem, the whole reading and the structures may seem a little confusing and foreign. So we welcome your comments and we welcome even questions you may have about it because it'll help us fine tune this. We think we're onto something here.
Right.
But there's many ways we can approach this. So your comments are extremely welcome.
We did a couple test runs, but our real test run, of course, is working with
with you. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Just realized I'm looking at this camera that's facing down at the cards, people. Sorry.
This snapshot for the month ahead is going to premiere probably in the next 2 days, probably right around the time the sun enters Aquarius.
And we're going to time these readings that way.
Pretty much. Yeah. But it is happening right now on Sunday evening, the 19th, and there'll probably be a small disclaimer when we actually produce that.
Yeah.
So that's it for this month.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.